Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to. I really do not know what's happening. I've been trying to record this confession that I received from one of our sister who do the translations for us. I've been trying to record, but still I really do not know what's wrong now with the laptop. The phone now is charging, but I can't record. The volume is really low. You see, this is the original mic for the laptop, but it's not doing anything. Even the volume, I put it almost to 95% or so, thinking that it will record audio, but it's not recording. So I'm gonna try and record with the phone. So I've been having this challenge. That's why I've posted really late. It is about the Rapture that this brother of ours sent us the confession about. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that we received. I've been trying to record this confession. It has been hours and hours. Things are not just working. So the message that I'm going to be sharing with you, it was received by one of our admin, and then she did this translation for us. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. The message that was sent to us, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a South African man and I follow a lot of channels here on YouTube, and I want you to read out my confession. Currently, I am here in Ireland. There is a mission that I am supposed to fulfill. I will tell you about that mission later on, but as for now, I want you to share this confession with your listeners so that they can understand what really happens and what is going on in South Africa right now, so that they can know and they can understand. So I am a Satanist, and I joined Satanism when I was in my early 20s. So the branch of Satanism that I joined, it is called Freemasonry. That is the branch that I joined. So our mission is very simple. Our mission is to plant misinterpretations so that we can break the Christian faith. That is all that we have to do. We give out these prophecies to pastors, to prophets, to those that want to seek fame. We give them these prophecies so that they can think that they are speaking with the Lord, but they won't know that they are speaking with demons in their quest, looking for wealth as well as having many followers. We will give them the visions that they want to hear. We will give them the visions that their followers wanted to listen to. But these visions and prophecies, they will be false prophecies. They will think that they have received a prophecy from God, but they would have received a prophecy that comes straight from hell, a prophecy that will be given to them by what we call familiar spirits. For the familiar spirits, they have been living in this earth for a very long time, and there is nothing that is hidden from a familiar spirit, since the familiar spirit has been there from the beginning of times. It knows each and every generation. A familiar spirit will tell you the history of each and every nation because they have been there since the beginning of time. I grew up in Western Cape. Growing up in Western Cape, it was okay. My father was a pastor. My father used to lead this other small Pentecostal church. My mother was a pastor as well, but it was one of those small community churches that never grow. So my father did not have a lot of money. My mother then started to date this other rich man that started to come to attend our church. when she started to date that man, when everyone in church found out that this was what my mother had done, it was quite terrible because this destroyed the church entirely. People stopped coming to church. Since this was just a small community church where only a few from the community attended the church, when they heard about this scandal, they stopped coming to church altogether. And after that, that was when my mother ran away from Western Cape, and then she went to Durban with her rich new husband. My father, he stopped going to church altogether, and he started drinking alcohol. He started abusing alcohol, and he was hard to live with because my father was always suicidal. The things that he would say, he was always suicidal, and it was very terrible for me. I was very young at that time, yet my father used to tell me all of these things, that he wanted to commit suicide. So I then reported the issue to my mother, and I told my mother that this was what my father had been saying. My father had been telling me over and over again that he wanted to commit suicide. I then asked my mom what I was supposed to do. My mother then told me that if I wanted, I could go to Durban so that I can stay with him and my new stepfather. I then went to Durban and I started to stay with my mom and her rich new husband. So when I was in my 20s, there was this other Nigerian guy that I started being friends with. This guy then told me that he wanted to go to his country. He told me that he was tired of being poor since he knew everything that had happened between my father and my mother. He was also dating a woman that was married, and this woman, she was very demanding. She always demanded money from him. So he was like, I am tired of this woman. I love her, but I cannot take care of her. I want her to be mine, but I need money. And just like what happened to your father, he was dumped by your mom because he was poor. When you are poor, there is no woman that wants to stay with you. So I have to do what I have to do. I will go to Nigeria and see if there is anyone that can assist me. At that time, when he told me about his journey going to Nigeria to do these rituals, I really did not even care about the rituals. When he came back, he called me, and he had spent so many months in his country. He called me and he told me that I was supposed to come to his apartment. I went there. What I saw, it was really terrifying. He had a wound that was between his buttocks. I then asked him about that wound that was in between his buttocks, what really had happened, and he was starving to death at that time. He could not even wake up to cook food for himself. That was why he had called me, because I was the only one that he trusted. And what he told me, it was really scary. He told me that when he was in his country in Nigeria, in order for him to be accepted into the Freemasonry church by the high priest, he was supposed to sleep with men as if he was a woman. And when they were sleeping with him, he said that they used this other small pump that they pumped baby oil into his simtu where the poop comes out. And when they saw that his simtu was full of the baby oil, that was when they started to sleep with him until they were finished. And he said that it was very painful because this was the first time. He asked me if I wanted to also go to Nigeria so that I can also become rich. And I said, never. I will never sleep with a man so that I can make money. I am okay like this. Within a very short period of time, I won't tell you the name of that restaurant, but he told me that he was going to join this franchise. I thought that he was joking. Where he got the millions from, which was needed for him to have that franchise, I really do not know. But then he told me that he was going to rent out this other place, and they brought the equipment and he started running that restaurant. He then offered me a job. I started to work for my Nigerian friend, someone that was not rich. Now he was a multi-millionaire all of a sudden. As time went on, I begged him and I said, please take me to Nigeria. I am now okay. Anything that they want to do, with me, I really do not care. Even if they sleep with me, I really do not care at all. That was when he told me that it was okay. He would take me to Nigeria. He then took me to Lagos. When we arrived in Lagos, we stayed there for about a month. They did not allow me to go to that church because it is not a public church. It is a private church. You can only go there if you are a Freemason, and you go there only by invite if you are not part of the Satanic kingdom. I was invited and they asked me what I wanted, and I told them that I wanted all the money in the world and all the women that I could get in my lifetime. They said that it was easy. I was supposed to join their branch, and by joining, I had to sacrifice a lot of cats that I had to eat, as well as to sacrifice myself. Those high priests, they came and they slept with me. The same thing that they did to my Nigerian friend, that is the same thing that they did to me as well. So soon after that, we then returned back to South Africa. I was also feeling the same pain that he was feeling, because after they had slept with my Nigerian friend, he said that he felt so much pain that was in between his buttocks, and each and every time that he would scratch, the wound will get bigger and bigger. I still have a wound in between my buttocks. That is the punishment that you get for joining the Satanic kingdom. When we returned back, I had a little wound that was in between my buttocks. Each and every time when I would scratch it, it will feel really painful, like it had never felt so painful, and I would scratch. The more that I scratched, the more that I would dig deep into my flesh. It went deep until a whole finger will get inside, and then I started to recover. But the wound is small now, but it is visible. There are times when it gets really painful. Fast forward, I then started to make money. I was given a mission to sleep with 20 of our South African women. I was told that the younger the better. Since I was in my 20s, there was no one who was going to have a query about it if I would date a girl that was 16, because we were both young. I would sleep with them 16, 17, 18, and sleeping with these women. This was me helping the church to get the wombs of these women. These women that I slept with, they still can have babies, but the babies that they are going to have, they are like demon-possessed babies, because their wombs, they are in Nigeria at that Satanic church. So after I had slept with as many women as I could, I ended up sleeping with more than 20 women, by the way. It was so easy for me since I had the money. I was then given a mission, because we were being taught at all the times. Like, our mission was that we were not supposed to fight with Christians. We were supposed not to have debates with Christians. We were supposed to act like a Christian, speak like a Christian, but you being the devil's agent. I was supposed to join a church, and I started going to this other Pentecostal church. In that church, I started sleeping with the pastor's wife. I slept with almost every woman in that church. So I was told that the mission that we had was to make sure that we work through the church structures, and deliberately we had to feed pastors misinterpretations about the end time events. And when rapture prophecies fails to appear on the predicted day, then it means that thousands and thousands of South Africans, their faith will crack as if it is like glass, because most of the South African Christians, they go to church, but their faith is not strong. Anything bad that happen in the Christian world, then it means that they will say that there is no God at all. This Christian God is just like a joke. Most South African Christians, they don't realize that they are fragile in their belief. You can go to a strong church that is full and you can worship loud, everyone will be singing, but once a false prophecy is said in that church, you can shake that church to the ground and it will never recover. if you cause a prophecy to fail in a big way, then it means that doubt will start to seep into that church, as if that church has a crack in the foundation, and it will seep like water seeping through cracked cement. So these were the strategies that we were taught. We find pastors, there are many amongst us South Africans, those pastors that are hungry for recognition, pastors who want to grow their churches. And what we do is that we whisper in their dreams. We used to hold ceremonies at different graveyards, waking up the spirits of the dead. And after we would have woken them up, they will start to visit those pastors in their dreams, and they will think that they are having visions, true visions that are from God. But these visions that they will be having, they won't be visions that are from God. There will be counterfeit visions. Do you know that every vision is real that you have? It just depends from where the vision comes from. It might be a vision that comes from hell, but still it is a vision. So we use familiar spirits. Some of you know these familiar spirits as the spirits of the ancestors. And these spirits, we use them and we send them to the pastors. When a familiar spirit has been invoked by a satanic group, if it comes to you, you can even think that it is an angel of the Lord. You can even see this spirit being like Jesus Christ. It can even take the face of Jesus Christ with all of his glory, put it on, and you can end up worshiping a familiar spirit that will be mimicking Jesus, even the angels. When we send out these familiar spirits to the false pastors, they are accompanied by thousands and thousands of bright angels. But these angels, if you see them, if your spiritual eyes are wide open, you will see that it is a legion of demons that will be accompanying the familiar spirit. So this familiar spirit has only one task: to feed he who wants to be famous. Feed him or her with false days. Feed him or her with false numbers. Feed him or her with signs in the sky. You might see a shining star in the sky because the angels, they are angels that reside in the heavens, the heaven before the heavens. That is where these stars reside. And in time, if they want to destroy a certain church, a certain community, one is showed that revelation. And when you see that revelation in the sky, you will say that, I have seen the face of God. No, my brother, you have seen the face of Lucifer's servants. So we celebrate whenever we hear about the false prophecies, when we let them run wild with confidence, thinking that they are hearing from the Lord. The words that they would hear, they would be whispered to them by the familiar spirits, and they won't know that these are demons that are speaking with them. So they will be confident. And when they make public announcement, their followers start to prepare with fear and excitement. It has never happened in our country, but as Satanists, we wish that people can do such, can sell properties, fast for days until they starve to death, cry out in repentance, thinking that the world is about to come to an end, but nothing is going to come. And when the date comes, nothing will happen. And the disappointment will be like a cancer that will be eating away at the church. Their faith will be turned into mockery, and we laugh and we laugh. We laugh when the people start to abandon the church altogether, and we claim victory and we praise Lucifer. And we wish that this will keep on happening. We want to be like other countries where false dates of rapture have been spoken of, and people even end up taking their lives. That is what makes Lucifer happy, because with each and every life that is lost and every prophecy that is false, Christianity loses its grip on South Africans. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear brother, a confession that I have been fighting to finish today. So the video that I have used, it was a confession that I was supposed to post on that other channel for Zim Confessions. That is the video that I have used, because even now to start recording, the phone will start to give me problems as well. My laptop, I really do not know. It is not recording. There is no Bluetooth that is connected. I even tried to use the original mic of the laptop, but it is not recording. So I had to use the phone. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.